Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Songland reaction for the Boyz II Men episode. If you're watching this video, you probably realize that you've come to the end of the road to tonight's new episode. I have been saving that for the past, however long since I knew we had a Boyz II Men episode. And, okay, this was a fun episode. I liked so much of it. I think a lot of the songs were good. Also, spoiler alert, it's kind of the Oprah episode of Songland where they're like,
yeah,
we're recording your song and your song and your song. Everybody gets a song.
Yeah, and it was a really good episode. And we've had a lot of pretty good episodes this season, but with a lot of people I'd never heard of. And then it's and now we're bringing out Boyz II Men. So we just had the end of The Voice a week ago, and they were really pushing Songland. So it was not a surprise then that they're oh, and now this next episode, it's Boyz II Men. It's yes!
They're saving some good stuff for the end of this season, because I know there's still an H.E.R episode lingering somewhere out there as well.
Yep.
So big names. I think we have some good songs, interesting stuff to talk through here. Before we dive in, though, if you guys do like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Can I start by saying this, though? I know that I feel like producers make them choose a winner, even if there's not really a winner. So I think ChrisLee's LoveStruck was the winner.
It felt like the winner. Man, that song is so catchy.
I don't know.
We're not talking anymore.
Well, we got a long video still to go, so I hope we do. But it was my second favorite of the group.
I really enjoyed it. It was just such a cool concept as well, because it is so taboo to talk about being in love with somebody or having a relationship with somebody who is in another relationship. And I mean, that's the thing about it, is there's a lot of people that this has happened to, where they meet somebody, they're in another relationship that's not really working for them. They end up getting out of that relationship, and then they spend the rest of their lives together. And nobody wants to talk about it, because that person was in another relationship, so they're already bad. So to have a song out there about this particular thing is interesting.
For sure, it's an interesting song, and I think the hook on it is pretty good. I like Chris Lee. He looks like, if you write songwriter in the dictionary, that is the picture that comes up with the hair and the shirt. But no, I think it is. It's a cool song. It doesn't sound like everything Boyz II Men has done, which is probably one of the reasons why they really wanted it.
Well, that's also why I really liked it. It was cool to have a song brought to them that doesn't just sound like a regurgitation of one of their songs already.
Yeah, and so I get why they picked it. I understand why it's the winner, but to me, give me Zak Waters' Bad Things any day of the week as the best in this episode, because I also felt like the premise of this was pretty unique, because it was a lot about, okay, I'm going to remind myself of all the bad things so I don't get back with this person who I know isn't right for me, but it's been a couple months.
Well, that's the key right there of why I thought this song was also a very cool, interesting premise, is that there's tons of breakup songs where it's you're reactionary. It's right after you've broken up, you're the worst, or my heart is broken, or whatever you feel right away. The idea that you have a song that's about a couple months later, so your reaction is gone, now you're left with reality. So what is the reality of this situation? Do I still want you back, or do I not want you back? Yeah, the reality is I want you back. I was just that is very smart. It's very cool. It's something everybody's dipped their foot in that pool, but nobody is singing about it.
Bad Things is the ultimate song for May 2020, because here's what's going on with a lot of people right now. You're sitting at home, you're bored, you're trying to do crazy things to pass the time. Maybe you're like me and you made a chocobo in Minecraft from Final Fantasy, because why not?
It's true. Can't even tell you the amount of times I've seen people online or my friends being yeah, we're all locked up right now, and guess who hit me up?
Yeah.
Exes, friends I haven't heard from that I don't want to hear from. Everybody locked down. Stop contacting your exes.
This is the anthem of a particular moment in history. So yeah. They stumbled into something here. What are you thinking? Are we feeling good about the way they're doing these songs at the end of the episode. I wish we had sort of the more traditional like music video, but I like that they're still actually giving us something in this era that we're in of, oh, here's everybody performing this song together from their home. It's nice that we actually still get a recording.
Yeah, we're still getting something. And I mean, I know eventually things will open up and we'll be able to get something more. And I appreciate that they're giving us the best that they can right now.
Yeah, and any Boyz II Men is better than like 95% of any other music that is out there. Let's just be honest about that.
We also have to talk about Jukebox and Charles, because that song did not get chosen.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting to me when I heard this song, because at first, and my mind changed, at first I was like, this song is very interesting for them, because the idea behind the song is kind of taking things that are really nostalgic, iconic, important in your life, like singing about Michael J. Fox, iconic, and bringing it into 2020 where it is still relevant and is still important and still holds weight, because, you know, like Michael J. Fox is iconic throughout the generations. It never changes, right? And that's what Boyz II Men are. They are singer-songwriters that really started a different movement at that time with their R&B and their lyrics of things that you didn't really hear a lot about. So the idea of then you're going to bring something as iconic as Boyz II Men and bring the nostalgia with them and make it 2020. I was like, at first I was like, okay, how can they not pick this song? But then the more I thought about it, I was just like, maybe they don't want to have it sort of revolve around that, where it feels almost like they're making a comeback, because that's not really what Boyz II Men are. They are still making music, and they are still out there in the eye. This isn't like that LL Cool J song, which I won't sing here on the channel so we don't get demonetized, but it's along the lines of, don't call it a comeback, I've been here for years. Well, and that's the idea, right? That Boyz II Men haven't left.
Yeah, it's not hard for them to say goodbye to yesterday, because they're still celebrating yesterday. It's a part of who they are today as well. It's all like, I don't think they view themselves as
That's all we're going to be doing is saying song titles and lyrics so we don't get demonetized.
I only have so many more of these left, but no, I think that I don't think they have to see themselves as nostalgia. And the song actually...
But they are in some ways nostalgic.
They are.
I mean, like Shane said, they were around and taught people to do a lot of things that weren't necessarily songwriting. That's not untrue. I mean, their songs are a part of an entire generation. Whether you were into R&B, you weren't into R&B, it didn't matter. Everybody loved Boyz II Men.
Well, this is the thing with the Jukebox song itself. I think it is a very cool concept, like you said. I think it would make a really cool music video. Like, by far, this had the best music video potential. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a CeeLo song called Robin Williams. That felt kind of, it was sort of a similar vibe in some ways, but I hated the name. I hate the name Jukebox.
Oh, the name Jukebox, the same. I feel the same. It didn't really fit with this at all, especially since when I think of a jukebox, I'm thinking of things from like the 50s, like 50s diners. You're going in a diner, you're getting your shake, you're putting a dime in the jukebox. That's how far back that is, and that doesn't fit with what's going on with this song. You can't talk about have it called Jukebox, but you're going to talk about Michael J. Fox? Like, he ain't that old.
You got to talk about the Fonz and be like, hey, like that's where you're going with the jukebox. At least that's
yeah, no, I totally agree. And at that point, it did feel like the title should be something more like even just 2020, something that is a little bit different.
Well, the final song, and this one, like with Zack and Chris Lee, is going to be recorded, is Juan Lisa Winans' What If It's Love, formerly known as Maybe. Juan Winans, part of Winans gospel music royalty. I'll admit, when I first saw him on the show, I immediately just like searched for if there's a relation here, because if you're a Winans family member, you're probably a really good singer. He is a really good singer.
Yes, he is.
I was thinking in my head for a second, it's like, is this guy a ringer on Songland? Like, is this a little bit too obvious that he's going to do really well? But it's sort of like, the majority of these people actually do have songs that they've put out there into the universe. It's not like maybe we have a couple here or there this season who are just completely off the map, undiscovered people.
Yeah, and the concept of this song also pretty original. We've heard lots of songs that are sort of about relationships or people not getting along in relationships, but the idea of it being, you know, you're in a heavy relationship or you're in a marriage and, you know, this is happening, is it still worth it to continue on? I think a lot of people in marriages get to that point where they're just like, man, like, I don't know, is this the thing that ends it? Is it the next thing? No, man. What if it's love? I was like, oh, but okay, cool concept.
This is the song that Boyz II Men picked so that they can sell a lot of singles. Like, I feel like this is the, you know, if you die hard in the Boyz II Men nostalgia contingent out there, this feels very much like a lot of their other hits.
Yes, it does.
It's generational. I think it's an easy sort of sell. So I think this is why they have sort of the Boyz II Men supermarket sweep on Songland, where they're just like plucking everything into their cart.
We'll take them all, wrap them up.
Yeah, they just really were thinking a lot about, all right, we're getting a little bit of everything here. This is a buffet for us. So yeah. This is a fun episode. This might be my favorite episode of the whole season so far.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, there was a lot of really good songs. And I mean, there have been episodes that we've seen this season where it's like, oh man, that song's good. But then at the beginning of this season, there's been a lot of songs was like, that's the winner. Yeah. That's easily the winner. And it always is. So it was kind of cool to have an episode like this where it's just like, oh man, there's a lot of good choices here.
Producers were totally like, you know, I can't predict the winner if they're all the winner. That's what they were thinking. Whole time. They knew. All right. Well, anyway, what did you guys think about this Songland episode? Do you like all the choices? Let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and if you want to support us further, check out the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.